December 15th.
There's no flag. Okay. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of Ohio and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Let's see. Announcements, correspondence. We really don't have any of that. Public comments, Bill?
Yeah, my public comment is on permanent Christmas lighting or lighting that has multi-use. Is typically that lighting that's not so-called permanent. I mean, outdoor lighting only lasts so long, and then you're redoing it. And in lieu of the fact that, from my perspective, of all the money that the township is spending right now in different areas and different needs, I don't think we should go with permanent Christmas lighting. Sorry.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, and Dave, you're not public, so.
He is, though. He lives here.
Yeah, but today he's in his work clothes. Okay, well, let's talk about this. Who brought up the pro light? Who is this?
Cassie.
Hi.
So as you guys know, every year I am responsible for the Christmas lights for our buildings, and this year I looked into some options for permanent lighting. You previously approved the permanent lighting for the gazebo and the library. So I'm bringing to you today some quotes for the permanent lighting for the police station and some temporary lighting options also. So the reason that I looked into these is that every year we spend, I believe we spent almost $7,000 last year on temporary lights, and that did not include the library. That was just for the Kelso House, I believe, and the gazebo. So just looking into more permanent options, and then these lights also give us some other options. They're not just Christmas lights. These can be programmed to be used for any holiday, any event. If we want to turn them on for Brimfest, we can make them blue. They're able to be synced to music. So they do have a couple different options. And then we would have eventually, obviously, a return on investment on this piece. So just presenting these options to you. And the first item that I would like to do is Colleen's going to bring a spreadsheet of all the breakdown, the pricing, and everything. And so the first thing that I would like to bring to you is approval to contract with Pro Lights for permanent lighting at the police station in an amount not to exceed $15,353.
So let me add, you can see on that spreadsheet, we did a comparison for we did get quotes for temporary lighting. So you can see a side-by-side comparison of what we would spend for temporary versus permanent, and the return on investment. So let's just say specifically for the police station, in 4 years of temporary lights, we would pay for the permanent lighting. And as Cassie said, those temporary lights are just put up for about a month, where the permanent lights can now be used all year round and for different events. So in addition to a 4-year payoff period, they also have more functionality. Also included with you is the warranty information. So absolutely, they're not, everything is not covered forever. So you have an overview of what is covered under that warranty, just to give you an idea of what we might be on the hook for based on what may be repairs in the future with the Pro Lights. So I think that is it. In addition, at the police station, so Roy was planning to be here this morning but couldn't.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
So one of the items I will discuss is there were some differences in pricing. So the temporary lighting company, when they gave their estimates, one thing they did is they separated out the lighting for the back of his building, so the back facing the parking lot. The permanent lighting company included the entire roof line. So this amount that you have before you includes the entire roof line.
That's the, which one?
The one on your spreadsheet, the 15,353, that includes the entire roof line of the police station. So, you know, there is a question discussion of, do we want to do the entire roof line? Do you want to exclude the back? We could approve this amount, and if it's just, if Roy doesn't care, we could exclude the back. But that's just an option before us of, do you want to include the back of the building?
Okay, so, well, I think we definitely need to discuss this. So I guess I will make a motion in the positive that we approve the amount for the PD to not exceed $15,353. So,
Sue,
I'll second the motion for discussion.
okay, and I tell you, when Holly called me yesterday and then I started thinking about it today, I mean, Cassie, I think some of your ideas are good, and I mean, this is NOPEC money, right?
no,
No?
it's M&I money.
Well, then
You
that's,
could use NOPEC money if you
Right,
wanted to.
you could.
okay, well, then that's even makes it worse for me, because that's, I don't know. Okay,
Economic
you're gonna
development.
put up these lighting, which will be permanent, so everyone's gonna see them year round, there's gonna be no bang for our bucks, so then that means the rest of the lawn's gonna have nothing on it? And then what about it's not gonna look like Christmas. I mean, in the PD, number one, Chris Atkins needs a new car. I mean, this is dying. I mean, and we're throwing around M&I money on this one. I mean, Chris can get a hybrid Ford Explorer, which might fit into a NOPEC grab, for $29,500. I mean,
Chris also has over $1 million in reserve money to
but
sit
that's why he
out there.
does have over $1 million.
Well, I know, he
because-
wants us to buy it instead of him.
Well, I mean, M&I, that's what it's for, not for
Sure.
razzle dazzling on lights. I mean, who the heck cares?
Well, we spend a lot of money out of the M&I for all the.
How much did we spend on temporary lighting last year? And it looked great.
I think we spent 6,800, but that did not include that was only for the council house and the gazebo.
I mean, number one, we're still in an active construction zone.
Well, we're not talking about lights there. This is only the police station.
Yeah, I know, but this whole lighting thing, I mean, personally, I think it's a waste of money. I'm not gonna support it. So, I mean, if you can.
Well, then we're done, because there's gonna be a no vote, we're not gonna be able to pass anything, so.
The what?
I said, we're done then, because if you're gonna say no,
Right, so if we want to vote on number one, we can move on with the next two items.
I mean, there's just so many needs out of that M&I fund, and to just be putting this kind of money for freaking lights. I mean, I think we're gonna turn Brimfield into Las Vegas? We're gonna have dancing lights now, you're saying? Holy crap.
It was just an option I was exploring.
No, my options are is get some damn signs in some of these parks, like I've asked for frickin' 4 years.
Listen, I think the lighting is something that comes up annually, and if
I
the
know.
trustees.
I'm
If the trustees.
you seem a little
want to
feisty
change-
today.
I am, I'm just tired of the way we're doing this.
If the trustees want to change direction and not do lights, then absolutely. let's
I
move
think
on.
my personal direction as one trustee, we don't need to do the whole park. I mean, number one, I did suggest we do behind, the thing, but we got those freaking wooden structures there. Why are we even wasting our money? I mean, I could see, it looked great last year. I mean, and we have a smaller green. I mean.
But we're not doing anything there this year. I don't mean to interrupt, but we're not doing anything over at the Kelso House this year. We're doing it over at the town hall.
Right, but I thought we were still doing it at the Kelso House, because when we talked about it.
We're having the lights there, but we're not doing the Santa thing over there.
Right, and that's fine. There's just so many things. I mean, we still don't even have the back put to the community center. I mean, how many years has that been? The plans are done.
Well, that's
And
not
if we
because
have
of money.
But if we have money in the M&I fund, why aren't we building this deck?
There's never been a request to build it with.
I mean, I
M&I
thought
money.
you guys had the plans. Where are the plans? When is this gonna get done? When is it gonna get done?
We were talking about lights.
I know, I'm just so frustrated how stuff is not getting done. I go through my list. We have the same things we had at the beginning of the year. I'm tired of it. I mean, we're trustees and we can't even get anything done.
Well,
So
I
I
don't
mean,
put that
my
on
vote-
there. You
my
guys
vote-
could vote on anything, Mike, and you could do it right
I know,
now.
but we have to go through the money with you.
No, you've ever had an issue with me with the money? I mean,
I
I've always
know.
told you
I mean,
what we
you and
had.
I get along great, and you know that.
Sure,
Because you and I both, even though we're like brothers and we disagree,
sure.
but we always come back and we talk.
Mhm.
I mean, there's just things that have to be done. By putting, I know I'm all over the place on this, we put that dang deck on here, oh, we open it up for small weddings. We increase our revenue for this thing. So
I mean, we had a proposal.
my problem is I did not drink all my coffee this morning.
Here, drink some of this. Listen to me. So we have, you guys, the three of you need to make action on some of these. If you want to do one of those things, say we're going to do it, and then we just
Well,
proceed.
I
But a
can't-
lot of the times we get
I
pushed off and then it never happens.
I just can't make action if people don't bring this stuff up. And like Dave and I mean, this poor guy has all these vehicles and we're in how old is that building?
73 and 86.
Yeah, I mean, my God, go down there and walk through that. They have no room. He's got stuff stored inside the salt shed.
So if I could interject for a minute, I think some of this let's table for next week's trustee meeting. The reason we brought these lights forward was because the trustees asked us to bring the lights forward. So if there's.
Well, I thought it was brought forward because this company said they were gonna give us all the stuff if we could give them a check right away, which right away threw me off. Because I'm not gonna let any company tell me that you get me this money by this date and we'll be there. Screw that, then don't do the job.
So I think there's a
Is that a dead bird out there?
I think there's a,
Silver ball, look at you.
What?
Shiny ball, look at you. Bird out there.
No, I think a bird
so
must
I
have.
think there's a misunderstanding. When we came to the last meeting, there was a discussion on the floor about the desire of the trustees to put lights around the fire station, town hall, back to the library, and over to the council house. So we got on that. Kelsey got quotes, we got temporary quotes, permanent quotes, so we could evaluate all of them.
Okay.
So that's why this is coming before you. We could talk about the deck another day. We did have plans. We were told that that wasn't the priority. So let's talk about that.
Who said it wasn't a priority?
We'll have it in the spring.
Who told me? Who
We
wasn't?
did. So what happened at that point was
No, but who told you?
I would need to watch the video before I disclose.
Because it's
anything.
always been a priority.
I don't want to misspeak anything because that was quite a while ago.
Okay.
So I just know that the discussion at the time was we really needed to look at our 5-year plan and what funds.
Screw the 5-year plans. They never work. It's a waste of time putting them together. And by the time you get there, everyone forgets about it. Trustees come, trustees go.
Well, the reason.
Look at a 1-year plan, a 2-year plan. But I mean, I've run a successful business and screw the 5-year plans.
Well, there's directions by
I
board
know.
members
The
to do
reason
that.
was-
See, we are turning into government, which is wrong. We need to be run like a real business. Sorry. Okay. That's the frustration when you get a business owner in here, dealing with government, which is purely ineffective. So, and this damn election cycle is driving me crazy.
Don, I have a couple comments.
Okay,
Sorry,
May
sir.
I finish real quick and then you can go, Sue, can I finish?
Okay, I got a
So
meeting that
we're in the
I gotta
direction
be out
of
of
the
here.
board. So if we need to shift gears, we'll shift gears. The reason to look at the 5-year plan was because we have some large projects, including building a road maintenance.
Oh,
road.
we're doing that next year, so don't
So
put that in the 5-year
the
plan.
purpose of putting together the 5-year plan was to prioritize projects. Because if we need a fire truck, an ambulance, police squads, a maintenance building, we have to know where the money and the funds are in order to say, yes, we can afford lights, yes, we can afford it. So that is why we stopped, because the board requested that we needed to look at all of the plans that were coming up in order to prioritize and make sure that we were prioritizing correctly. So we can discuss that at the next meeting.
Well, I think that would be much better to discuss this stuff when Nick's here,
Absolutely.
so we get everyone's full
We
opinion.
will have it on the agenda for next week's meeting, no problem. So with the permanent lighting, if you wish to vote down number 1, you can. What we're here to discuss is simply based off of the last board meeting where the board discussed the vision that they had. So if we want to change directions, by all means, we can change directions. We're just providing this because you requested.
Well, my vote would be to change direction, but I'm only one trustee.
Well, and I will say this before Sue kicks in here, I'm sorry, we have
Sorry.
a timeline in order to get lights up on the building. So some of the rush might have been, hey, these guys have to get all the lights up or they're not even going to do them. So, and here we are, we're a week from November and lights usually go up on commercial buildings like that at the beginning of November. That's when they start it all. So that's some of the rush too. Maybe we're a little too late this year with everything.
But see, I saw Cassie and Hannah over there with the lighting guys, so as far as I assume that you were over there setting up lighting.
That is Marcus is from SNC Lighting. He's the one in charge of the lighting displays.
So
The figural
we
displays.
are putting up lighting.
He does the figural displays, and he
So-
uses
so-
temporary lights.
so
Lights is a
basic-
different company that does permanent light installation.
You approved a certain amount for that. There was an additional amount.
So we
haven't
do
approved.
have lighting.
The board has already approved 16,700 for lighting displays. In the
Okay, so-
last meeting,
So we don't need the permanent lighting.
Those are the yard things that are out there, not the,
I mean, and
lights
that's the
on the
things that
building.
people look at.
and I just want to clarify, you guys approved the 16,700 for the lighting displays, but at the last meeting, you explained a vision that you had, and that 16,700 would not provide for what you guys asked us.
And
That's why we called
and I
it.
agree, and I did say that, but then I went down there and walked, and then I walked again yesterday. And there's so little of the town hall that even needs to be done.
Well,
Yeah.
we're not going to do that.
I mean, and then you mentioned that we could go out and buy some spotlights, but like I told you on the phone, I mean, we have so many freaking lights around this township from back when the road department used to do it. I really want us to look into that pile of wires to see if there's something else we can get. I just can't see. I love Christmas and I love seeing things lit up, but I think if you're gonna have this is only my opinion, you're gonna have all that lighting up there anyhow, and that's what kids look at. Hell, my grandkids probably don't care if there's lighting along the top of the building. I don't want us to look like Vegas, so.
I don't want us to look crappy next to other towns too. I mean, Christmas is a big time in a lot of these places.
Flowers up on the poles during the summer, so we would at least look like, I mean, geez, Rootstown has flowers on their poles.
You guys can pass a resolution at any time to
I feel like
make Dave put that out there if we want
Yeah.
it, so.
Okay.
I think we all cut Sue
I just
off.
want to pass the resolution to get some dang signs put up. Okay, Sue, sorry, I'm gonna stop talking.
Good. Okay,
I should
so
have
we
never
have,
stopped drinking.
we have $16,000 approved. And that is for
Sorry,
what,
sorry,
what place?
That's okay.
16,000.
You can say
So the display lights, and what we want to talk, so this is jumping to number 3, but the 16,700 was for display lights. Cassie did meet with the display company, and he indicated that the amount that was approved would provide enough displays for the town green next to the fire station. And so you guys had discussed another vision, and so number 3 is to talk about if you guys wanted to purchase more displays, what those costs would look like.
And to clarify, by displays, I mean the waving Santas and the gingerbread men and that kind of thing, not trend lights.
That was $16,500 for that little area?
For last year, the 16,700 was for the entire Kelso house. So all of those figural lights.
And so he's gonna do the same thing for the same price in a small footprint. He's ripping us off.
It is the same amount of lights, but we're going to refocus them because the trustees decided that they wanted to have hometown Christmas at the fire station in town hall versus Kelso. So it's the same lights, but we're just moving them to
Yeah,
a
but
different
there's,
area.
the spaces are entirely different.
We can spread them out however we want, it's the same amount
Okay,
of
well, I
lights
wanna
for the same
clarify
price.
something. I'm not saying he's ripping us off. I think we're not talking apples to apples. He seems like a very nice guy. So maybe we have a meeting with him next time, because I can't see, if you have a basket of apples, which we used at the Kelso house, and now we got a teeny little footprint, and we got a teeny little basket, we're still paying the same amount.
I think
I
that,
mean, if you put all those lights that were at the Kelso house, that's gonna be a Chevy Chase Christmas thing. You know what I mean? I just know how many lights we had, I can picture them.
it's the same amount of lights, it just depends how you wanna spread them out. Again, they could go around the front of the building, the side of the building, it just depends how
But I
you.
thought when we talked about we were gonna put a few lights up at the Kelso house. Because remember you did say my vision was to have it all the way back, so that would have started.
Well, I want to
Is
help.
part of this money in the library?
My turn.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You look sorry. Anyway, I've always been taught that we cannot spend township, or we can't spend the people's money on a personal owned something that's not owned by the township,
Kelso House, you mean?
the Kelso house. So in my opinion, as far as the Kelso house goes, I don't see where we have the right to use taxpayers' money for that over there. Anyway, before we did all that remodeling and building that fire station 3 years ago, we had a beautiful display where the people would come in and they would drive through and there was, I would call it like a photo shot. They would have, setups where you could take your child and sit by a blown up snowman and have, if you want to do that. Those were put there, so that's what part of that $16,000 pays for, right?
The
In the
displays, yes,
M&I.
the light displays.
Okay.
So Ferris wheel, gingerbread men.
That's in the
what all
M&I
of
fund
that,
for
yes.
10 so
That's gonna be coming around the driveway or whatever,
I love Christmas.
whatever route we have.
I don't want to be the
I'm okay with
Just
doing the $16,000 that's already been approved for the displays, and let it go at that. But we approved lights, let's see, we approved lights for what,
Gazebo in the library, the permanent lighting for the gazebo in the library was previously approved as well. In addition to the 16,700 for the light displays.
within that, from my point of view, I think that should be sufficient, what we've already decided to do, and I think this is all done new.
And we are fine with that. The only reason we're coming is because you guys requested this. So if you want to just keep with what we have, we are fine and we will move on with our day.
Well, you know, that was the success that we had when, because we had those open days and the groups will come in with the tables and the arts and crafts.
Well, I remember that one time when they drive down past the car wash,
Right,
because there's a display there, and then they turn and they go out, and then they go out.
yeah.
I mean, and people would do it all the time.
But then you had inside where the bays are, we had different groups come in and they would
Oh,
set
yeah.
up arts and crafts for the little kids doing in Santa Claus.
And I'm pretty
Didn't get rained out.
I think that's what I think they are, they're gonna use the bays, right? So, yeah, I mean, that was a hometown
I mean,
Christmas.
don't mess with success, you know? Just what we've done before, I think was very well received. And then in the future, after Chris gets his car and we get some work done down there, in the future, there may be some that we could improve on what we've done.
Right. Sorry.
You owe me a cup of coffee.
Screw that.
That was torture.
I think we're having a gin and tonic.
Well, do we need to vote no? Do you want to, how do you want to
Okay, well,
We
proceed?
have a motion on the floor right
Yeah,
now.
there's a motion on the floor.
Yeah, there's a motion on the floor. For the motion on the floor to move things along, I would want to do the 16,000 that we approved and go with that and save this for another day.
Okay.
We started.
Sounds good.
For
Well, the
some,
motion you have on the floor is move to approve the proposal for the PD permanent lighting at the cost of $15,353.
oh, I have to vote no on that.
All in favor, Mike?
No.
Sue?
No.
Motion failed.
But I'd like to make a motion that if it would be appropriate, I'd like to make a motion to,
We'd have to change the agenda.
oh, well,
What do you want to add? I mean, what's your,
I mean, you can make an,
no, I just want to
we
make a
can make
motion.
make a motion to change the agenda.
I'll make a motion to change the agenda then, because what I want to do is.
I'll second it, so,
Okay.
what do you
I
want
wanna
to
just
add?
go with what we've already got established for this year.
And you just
Oh,
vote
we
no
don't.
on the next two items.
Yeah, we don't need a
Vote no
motion
on
for
2
that.
and 3 doesn't need really a vote.
Okay, I make a motion then to approve the SMC lights and displays. No, we need the
and I'll
display.
second that for
We need-
discussion.
We need the display.
We have already approved the display, so this is something, yeah, so that 16,700 was already approved, so this was an addition.
Okay, all right.
So we're moving to approve the additional SMC lighting displays for lights
Yeah,
for the Kelso House
Okay.
and the barn in the amount not to exceed $3,100. Is that your motion, Sue?
Yeah,
I second that, John.
Okay. All in favor, Mike?
Okay.
Okay,
So
sorry.
we're in discussion. So-
Okay, sorry.
So last year, let's see, last year we did not put anything up because it was really an active work zone. So
Right. Well, the last 5 years, we haven't put anything up.
I would just, my suggestion was if we just back up on the Sue, maybe talk about it at the next meeting. In the meantime, I want to talk to John. I'd like to possibly talk to the guy, the SMC Lights, and talk to him. So if it's okay with you guys, I'm okay with Cassie and Holly, if I get a hold of this guy and talk to him.
So whatever you want.
Really? So then I can end this meeting and get to my next real meeting?
Let's do it.
Okay. No, but if that's okay with you, I'd like to just have a quick discussion with that guy. I mean, I think if,
Will that dismiss my motion?
well, no, we'll just,
Because
we'll just vote no on it and then we'll just move on. And then maybe we could have this put back on the next meeting.
Well, in 2 weeks, it's gonna make a crunch it.
Well, no, we're gonna, next week we have a meeting. 'Cause this-
Well,
Wednesday.
next week it's gonna crunch it.
We do, we just won't have a guarantee that it'll be done for Christmas, so if we postpone it, that's the only, we already have the approval for the light displays
So we do
that
have,
we purchased, so this would be.
so that's what I'm gonna talk to the guy about, our light displays. So we're just, I mean, if we, yeah, I mean, it's almost, I mean, today I thought it was Wednesday, but it's actually Friday or Thursday. So, I mean, it'll be Friday and then we get together. When's the next meeting? Tuesday?
Wednesday.
It'll be Wednesday. It's not that nighttime meeting? Okay, I think it'll, I mean, if we sign up with a guy and you can't get us, I mean, we put something in the contract, he's gotta get the stuff done.
Well,
If he wants-
SMC light display is set to be on time. It was Pro Lights that had the timeline because it's such a big installation that they need to get started as soon as possible. To ensure that it's done not by Christmas, by December 1st for our event.
Okay. So, okay, John, I guess call it.
So we have the move to approve the S&M lights and display for lighting at the Kelso House and barn in the amount not to exceed $3,100. All those in favor, Mike,
No.
Sue,
No.
motion failed.
So the 1,600 or the 16,000 takes care of
So we don't have to
everything,
make
it's all
this.
been
No.
approved and.
So I'll make a motion.
And we don't need to discuss number
We'll
3
chat
for all one,
tomorrow.
That's fine.
Today.
Can I just make one statement?
Nope.
not till the meeting's over.
Okay.
Okay, well then, with this not having to do that, I guess I'm going to make a motion to end this meeting.
Second,
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Sue,
yes.
we are adjourned at 8:27.
Sorry, but Holly,